if we are strictly talking right now, Victor Wembanyama and Giannis Antetokounmpo are the two best players in the NBA and the two front runners for MVP. Thoughts, fellas?
At the time of that comment, I think that was accurate. Obviously, now Wemby had his stinker last night, so I think it's Giannis also wasn't that great against the Kings, so they both didn't have the greatest games. And Giannis missed the game.
Absolutely.
I mean, DeMarcus thoroughly outplayed him, sure.
I don't know about thoroughly. Let's chill out on that.
Zach LaVine had 30 again. Just want to put out there. Just
31.
Just scoring 30, just scoring 30 every game. Apparently, no one cares. So.
I think it's interesting, Swiper, that we talk because we get early in the season and we have a tendency to just fall in love with guys. And y'all already know how I feel about Giannis. And I'm gonna be talking about Giannis the way I talk about Giannis the whole year. Meanwhile, just so y'all know, I mean, I think Joker if he doesn't lead the league in assists and rebounding, he's like 2, something goofy like that. Like I think he's second in the league. If he doesn't lead,
he leads the league in assists and rebounds.
So yeah, I knew it was something like
14 rebounds and 10.8 assists.
And see how we scoff at that? Like that's no big deal. Like that's nothing. He leading the league in rebounding and assists at the 5.
I think the narrative is that he hasn't played well this year. And I think that's prevailing NBA Twitter narrative.
Why? Because it ain't 30.
No, he hasn't.
It's not that he's not playing well. He hasn't played as well as those other players.
Yeah, he's playing well. He hasn't played. He hasn't played.
Just if I can just not be interrupted for 2 seconds, I think one of the issues is because his usage is at 23%. So because his usage is so
he's
low,
doing the no shooting gimmick. We know.
Yeah, well, it's not a gimmick. It's just they're changing their offense.
It's a gimmick.
What are they changing their offense to, Swipe?
This is how we know it's a gimmick. In the playoffs, is Jokic usage going to be this low?
I don't know.
No, it's not. Hell no, it's not.
He don't know.
It's not a gimmick. It's just if we can that's what I'm saying. Like you can't even get Mars to have like an actual conversation.
It's a gimmick. He's not shooting the ball.
This is what I mean. It's like they're doing. They're modified their offense significantly because they don't want him to have a crazy usage throughout the year because he's a center and he's 30. So how can you manage the minutes, manage the touches, let Jamal and others do what they need to do, and then on the other end, their defense. Which, if we're using just the NBA.com stuff, they're a top 4 defense this year. Like, so they're just
threes. You know about the dunks and threes in offense.
No, but I'm saying when I did this the last time, it was an agenda. So then I'm not doing it.
11 on defense. Again. Yeah, 11 on defense per dunk.
So this is what I'm saying. So chill. We can't even have a actual conversation about it because people are trolling all the time. So I'm not trying to troll. I'm being very.
Rockets were number 1 in offense. He said, "Yeah, but there's other sites that filter for certain things, and guess what? Dunks and threes are the Rockets are actually
I don't understand why if the question was about Jokic, and I'm giving him a salient answer for why people think he's not playing as well as he's playing. But Mars is trolling again, so I'm saying that if people think it's a gimmick, they ran a 2-3 zone for the first half of the Portland Trailblazers game because they're trying to try things early in the year to figure out what they are and what they're going to be.
That's a gimmick, Swiper. That's what a gimmick is.
Yeah, it's all a gimmick.
It's not. Wait, hold on, wait. Because it's
the Lakers played defense against Jokic. It was a gimmick defense. But when the Nuggets changed their scheme, it's not a gimmick. Okay, cool. When the Rockets have the number 1 offense per NBA.com, we actually need to use dunks and threes to get an accurate representation of offense. But when the Nuggets have the 11th ranked defense per dunks and threes,
it's simply because when I came off the mic and brought up dunks and threes, you said there's a reason why. I didn't even know they were number 1. I haven't looked at it over the weekend. I was on football yesterday. So then the other. So again, this is what I'm talking about. So this is why.
Not real talk.
No, it's cool.
No, because I do want to say this though, because I got your back on that, Swiper. Like, because the thing about it is, I don't think going into a 2-3 zone. First of all, it's not a gimmick, but second of all, it's not just trying stuff. That's playing the difference.
But y'all are just goofy. Mars is goofy. Real talk is goofy. The chat is goofy.
That's fine. That's fine. Don't get upset. When I'm saying have conversation. Hold on. 2-3 If I could say this without getting interrupted. If I could finish without getting interrupted,
fellas.
Hold on,
everybody's
so crazy.
Okay, well, Swiper,
can't just have a basic conversation.
Swiper didn't want to talk, and then he wanted to talk. He can't do that. Swiper,
y'all niggas is just interrupting like off rip all the time, bro.
You stop talking,
bro.
You stop talking, and then I start talking, and then you got upset and wanted to talk again.
It's just constant though, bro. Like just have a conversation.
That's what I'm. That's what I'm doing.
Have a conversation and stand in the box instead of doing this nonsense though.
That's what I'm trying to do.
What happens is if I stay silent for the show, if I stay silent for the show, if I stay silent for the show, then it's a problem. I'm not even talking to you.
And I wasn't. Okay, well, you were done talking. You were done talking. No, because you were done. You were done, and then you decided, oh no, I'm pissed off, so now I'm gonna speak up. You was talking and then you stopped, nigga. That's on you. So I'm saying,
you not gonna stand in the box?
No, because he being a crybaby because they called him out on some shit he did. That's on him. That don't got nothing to do with me.
There's nothing to call out on nothing nobody did. I'm saying y'all are being weird.
I'm saying you being a crybaby because Mars said that's what you did and that's what you did.
If Chill asked me a question, I'm going to answer the question directly. The problem is that when we start talking about this individual player, Mars come off the mic doing that trolling nonsense. Real talk, it's like throwing his hands up.
How is he trolling if he's just calling out what happened?
Because there wasn't no agenda. That's what I'm trying to say.
I went
back to the original one because Mars opened his mouth to gawk and complain about it when I used it. So I went back to the original just to stay on the point of using NBA.com. That's what's weird to me. So wait, so you saying literally whenever I bring up Denver on this platform, y'all get weird, starting with Mars, who's been doing this for a minute. I'm saying like literally
that's not what I was doing.
Can't say weird. I'm saying I can't say a word without y'all jumping on my dick about it. Like that's weird, bro. Like y'all are mad weird. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. Like this is at some point, y'all gonna have to get used to the fact I covered Denver. I want to talk about Denver. I'm cool, but if y'all gonna keep doing this all season, there's literally nothing to do. That's just weird. Like we are 5 games in. Chill asked a direct question. He asked a direct question. And I answered the question directly, and then it became something else, bro. Like it's just weird to me, bro. Like, that don't make no sense.
I agree.
It's weird, bro. Constant. It's constant. Like it's all the time. It's the constant glazing all the time.
That Jokic is leading the league in rebounds and assists.
It's weird.
And we're just pushing it to the wayside like it's not something crazy. And then Swiper said the narrative on Twitter going around.
That is the narrative. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. The narrative is that Jokic just isn't playing well. And then what I think it was either me or Real Talk said, no, the narrative is he's not playing as well as he did last year. And then Chill was like, what's that? Is it because he's not averaging 30? And then I said, no, it's because he's doing the no shot gimmick. And then Swiper said, it's not a gimmick. They actually
changed their offense. Yes.
And then I asked, this is how I know it's not a gimmick. Is Jokic going to
That's not even relevant to the playoffs though.
Wait. And then I said, this is how I know it's not a gimmick. This is how I know it is a gimmick. Is Jokic going to shoot this little in the playoffs? And Swiper, knowing the answer is no, said, I don't know. Because
that's not no, but you calling it a gimmick when the reason. By the way, the last 3 games they played with that doesn't make it. They also did this, and the issue is they have to find a way to modify their offense because of how it's not a gimmick though. It's what I'm saying, that to call it a gimmick when a coach has gone out of his way, since May.
And that's the problem. You call it a gimmick when somebody else does.
The Lakers
because the issue is in May of this year, David Adelman literally came out and said, we are going to adjust what we're doing. Or in June, after the season ended, they're going to adjust what we're doing because we need to find other ways to win without Jokic having a 35% usage like he did in the early season last year, averaging 32, 12, and 10, and going on this crazy run. But they couldn't do anything. So the issue is they then changed their offense up. Jamal Murray, allow him to have the ball more, which he has. Jokic is having his lowest usage percentage since his rookie year on purpose. Because they're trying to find other ways to adjust. It's that simple. Like I don't think that's a gimmick to say that your game plan coming into the season. Because I told you based on what happened in previous when JJ Redick said we spent 2 days preparing for this game in particular, and they came up with something that was seen in the Wolves series in Game 2, and they did that game, and then the Boston Celtics did it, and then whoever they played after that. All they did last year was pack the paint to a voracious level where they didn't guard the 3-point line at all.
Swiper don't want to be consistent. Let me just get in here and just
it's 2 different things.
let's just
Yeah,
find
Caruso
this common
guarding
ground
Jokic,
because
gimmick.
it's
But
it's
Jokic
not
not shooting.
it's
Did I say it was
not
a
even
gimmick,
a
Mars,
gimmick
when he
for
guarded
either one.
Caruso?
You said it was a gimmick. Yes.
So
you
you're
said the Thunder's game
Caruso guarded Jokic throughout the series, mind you.
No,
throughout the series. And then in game 7, no, I didn't. This is what I'm talking about.
It was a gimmick.
And then no, I didn't. And then in game 7, they switched it in the end of the second quarter because nobody else could score against Jokic. So again, this is what I'm saying. You get to the conversation where Chill asks a question. I'm talking basketball, and then Mars, you come off mic and you start jumping on top. And what I'm saying in this instance, I just want to address Chill's point from a basketball reading. The same way we did the ghost screen stuff, and then everybody was calling Chill like, "Oh, how are we explaining this?" Chill? It's a basketball conversation, so I just addressed it. That's it. That's all it had to be. That's all it had to be. And then it turned into something else. I'm saying it's weird.
You calling OKC's defense a gimmick?
I didn't. OKC had the best defense of all time. It's not a gimmick for them to do that. It's simple as that.
Okay,
that's what they do.
You changed what you said months ago.
It's not changing anything.
fellas.
No,
I can't even hear you.
I remembered wrong.
I would just like
it's
to
a Mandela effect, I guess.
The only reason why I had that reaction is because Swiper said, because to Mars' point, Mars brought up the fact that he said, "Oh well, adjusted when you look at dunks and threes, it's actually not the Rockets." When I said the Rockets have the number 1 offense in the league,
You mean the Thunder? The Thunder. Today was
it was the
Thunder.
Rockets. It was the
Rockets. It was the Rockets. No, it was the Rockets.
Oh, today? Okay, I apologize.
Yeah. When we were talking about the Rockets having the number 1 offense in the league, you said, well, if you look at dunks and threes adjusted for whatever dunks and threes adjusted for, you said they're not number 1. But then you also followed up that statement a little bit later. You said, well, I didn't even know that Nuggets were number 1.
I didn't.
To me, that is a lie. Because how
no,
do
it's
you
not
know
lying.
that
I haven't checked it.
But so how did you know that adjusted?
Because I just looked at it. I
Rockets
just
weren't
looked at it
number
when we brought it up. At that point in time, I literally looked at it. So, and again, this is why I'm saying real talk. I just went toward it because I typically use that on my shows. But I wasn't trying to belittle the point, but it's just simply in that moment, I didn't know that Nuggets were number 1 because the Nuggets have the number 10 offense on defense on that too. If I wanted to push an agenda, I was pushing that they would have a top 12 defense this year anyway before the season started. So now it's just NBA.com, which they're 4. They're 4 currently. So I don't think they're going to remain 4 either. I think you do need to adjust to who they played. I don't think they're the 4th best defense in the NBA. It's that simple. So like it works both ways.
So can we just agree though? Can we just agree real quick, Chill, because I was trying to get a point before I was so rudely interrupted.
As you were saying.
Can we just agree that adjusting the way you play defense in basketball isn't just a gimmick?
Yeah.
So the whole thing with the Lakers, that wasn't a gimmick. They realized we're playing one of the best basketball players on planet Earth. We have to try something different. That's not a gimmick. That's an adjustment. You know what I mean? So what the Nuggets are doing right now, we're trying to figure out a new system of playing. Maybe Jokic, you're not shooting as much. Maybe you're continuing to be the great passer you are. Maybe that's not a gimmick. It's an adjustment. It's basketball. I just want to say that. That's all I was trying to say. Playing a 2-3 zone for the first half of a basketball game isn't a gimmick. A 2-3 zone isn't a gimmick defense. It's a defense. That's all I wanted to say. So to the point last season about what the Lakers did, that wasn't no gimmick defense. That was what they were trying to do to stop one of the best basketball players on planet Earth. And what the Nuggets are doing right now, I don't think is a gimmick. I think they're looking at looking deeper into the season. And they're like, well, teams have seen this play this way. Let's try to do this. Let's try to do that. I don't consider that a gimmick. I consider that just coaching good basketball. That's all.
I thought a gimmick is something that you do to try it out. Like for example, Swiper, when you talked about the Lakers, the way that they played Joker, the way that they played him. Did you guys cover anybody else like that for the rest of the season?
No, they didn't.
I think
there's no other team that was situated like Denver was last year.
That's an adjustment to a different.
I mean, but you can argue there's no other like what other center plays like that.
Like, well, no, I think that was going to the shooting. They had the team where you could take advantage of the fact that nobody except for 2 people could hit outside shots, obviously.
Remember, Jokic, we definitely zoned off in the rest of that season. We definitely were not guarding non-shooters. That didn't just happen against Denver.
That's what I'm talking about, Swiper. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, real talk. Like, is that something that we only did in that particular game, or was that going on during the season? Because if it was going on during the season, it's not a gimmick. No.
Now we definitely
they accelerated it. They accelerated it. Yeah, in that game.
Yeah, but
because Jokic only had 5 shots through 3 quarters, and it worked. Yeah, it worked. It's not trolling. Like, that's why it's not trolling. Like, it's just you. Like, if somebody asks a basic question, we don't even get to have like an actual conversation about it because of when you bring up Jokic, what happens, and it's not even me. I didn't even do anything. It's just Mars came off trolling and doing that nonsense that he does, and I try to answer a question directly from Chill, and then that's where it went. That's literally why the conversation went left.
But haven't we
just
seen?
Let it go. Let it flow. It's over.
I want to get to a point in time where people can just disagree with me without accusing me of just trolling every time you disagree.
That's because you do it so much.
That's because you do it all the time. Like,
that's fine. That's fine. Sometimes we can just disagree.
Yeah.
If I think Jokic shooting 13 times a game is a gimmick, I think it's a gimmick. You can disagree. That's cool. If I think Jokic shooting less than Grayson Allen is a gimmick, I think it's a gimmick. If I think that this is not actually what Denver are going to do going forward in serious games in the playoffs, yes, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Jokic is going to be more aggressive. I think he's going to stop passing up shots that he's very clearly passing up within this offense. I think that even you have said they're experimenting in the regular season. I'm fine with you disagreeing with me. Me saying Jokic is doing the no shot gimmick is not me trolling. I wholeheartedly believe he's choosing to not shoot the ball. That's what I think is happening. That's my opinion. If you disagree, you disagree.
No, real quick, Ron. Swiper, to Mars's point, is Joker adjusting it because he's got better talent around him, and now I don't have to do as much as I did last year. Is this Joker just adjusting his game? That's what explain why he's down in points. Like, I don't have to average 30 now.
Because
I got the other guys. He's shooting 6. He's averaging 9 less points than he did last year. Shooting 6 less shots a game. It's very purposeful. He is not the touches are down. He's only at 94. No, but it's not a gimmick though. When you use gimmick for it, that's what I'm saying. It's not a gimmick. It's not a gimmick. They have to do it. It's simple. They have to find a way to win without it just being like Jokic go do 30, 13, and 10. Like, the defense has been way better across the board for the team this year, and I think it has a lot to do with that. The more energy you have, the more energy you can use on defense, and the better the team is. It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. Yeah, the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.